Do you ever find yourself sitting in a long staff meeting or staff training session after a full day's work feeling your eyelids becoming heavier and heavier? You may fidget, widen your eyes, you might move positions, or you might even pinch yourself. It's a horrible feeling, isn't it? Have you ever actually been so sleepy that you've almost drifted off? How did you feel? What about children who are yawning through your lesson, or perhaps sleepy throughout the day, or even fall asleep in class? How do we deal with this? Hi everyone, I'm Natalie from MyProgression, and today we're going to explore the reasons your students might be sleepy and how to manage the tired pupils in the classroom. Today's video is going to look at the sleepy pupil and how we handle the situation in our classrooms, as well as looking into the possible reasons for this sleepiness that may need more attention than first thought. We want the very best for each child we teach, and it's a well-researched fact that sleep is essential to both mental and physical health. But sleeping in class throughout the day needs to be managed effectively. It's really important to understand why a pupil in your class is falling asleep in the first place. A student falling asleep isn't necessarily a sign of a major problem, but a student who regularly naps during lessons is problematic and may need some support, as this will have a negative impact on their learning. We all know there will be some days that you may expect a good proportion of the class to be tired. The day after an evening World Cup final where you know that 60% of your pupils are going to stay up, watch and hopefully celebrate, doesn't bode well for exuberance the next day. You will be faced with yawns and tired eyes by lunchtime, so plan to have a slightly lower expectation that particular day. So how much sleep should children have? It's recommended that children aged between 6 and 13 need about 9 or more hours of sleep a night, with preschool age needing 10 to 13. Obviously, if children are in nursery, they'll have dedicated nap times or will be allowed to rest when sleepy. But 9 hours is sufficient for most children and adolescents, according to multiple authorities, while anything under 8 hours is not enough. It's quite interesting to know what time children go to bed and can be a good topic of conversation in a class. Some children have early starts with drop-offs at childminders or daycare, and then a late pickup as parents work. In discussions with some children, their social life after school is manic, with football practice, other sports commitments, along with drama club another night and scouts or brownies the next. You get the picture. As educators, we have little to no control over what happens outside the classroom, but it can be most frustrating when children come to school tired and therefore unable to engage actively with what's going on. Conversations about bedtimes or evening routines can be insightful and give you a picture of your students' days. Some schools may give advice via social media just to raise awareness and hopefully encourage good habits and routines at home. You are first and foremost the teacher, but you also may be the key person to support a pupil in your class. There are numerous reasons for sleepiness, but please be aware and non-judgmental. Be tolerant and compassionate whilst encouraging and maintaining your high standards of expectations within your classroom. Ask for help and also seek advice if you feel unable to handle a situation. There are many causes of sleepiness which we'll possibly be well aware of, but there may be some reasons which we may not have considered. Too much screen time. Screens and accompanying blue light, often attributed to games, TV or social media on phones, can affect sleeping habits and patterns. Once home from school, pupils want to engage in what interests them and they're likely to have hobbies and interests, which is great. However, we know that staying up too late is not conducive to waking up totally refreshed the next day. To fall asleep, you need to be physically and mentally tired, and so the stimulation of TV, online games and social media doesn't support being able to relax in preparation for sleep. Screens produce blue light that suppresses the part of the brain that produces melatonin, making it difficult for the brain to turn off and relax. Staying up too late. Some children have no boundaries set, so why would they go to bed early and think about sleep? I remember thinking to myself as a child, I'll never go to bed early when I'm a grown-up. I cannot tell you how much I love going to bed now. So you can imagine that some children just literally go to bed when they can't keep their eyes open. And it may be a struggle to wake up the next day, but they do get to school. However, are they in the best physical and mental condition? Or are their minds and bodies struggling to keep alert and take in the information being taught? Some medical conditions can cause drowsiness, and it is important to be aware of this rather than assume that the child is just not going to bed early enough. Suffering from health issues or sleep disorders such as sleep apnea, restless leg syndrome, or narcolepsy can have a massive impact on the physical well-being and can cause severe drowsiness. There would be a host of medical conditions along with medication that would impact on performance in school. Stress can also have this effect too. As a class teacher, you may be aware of the children with health conditions, and while some may not be drowsy, it's always worth exploring the condition or medication the child is on through a conversation with the parents to assess if they have an impact. Adjustments can then be made and support to the child given. Traumatising experiences or other troubling situations can cause stress, anxiety or depression. This will impact on all aspects of a child's life. School may be the safe place for the child where the child can relax and rest. This may be the time their minds can rest too, so causing sleepiness. We must remember that we can't be the experts in everything and can't solve all issues, but we can be a help and support along the way. Being aware of such serious issues will support our perception and care of a pupil. Being hungry. When someone is under-eating, they're consuming fewer calories than their body needs to function correctly. This can have a severe impact on energy levels, causing feelings of physical tiredness and mental fatigue, which may cause tiredness and lead to drowsiness. This is a huge issue as poverty can be the impact of under-eating, but be aware that health conditions such as bulimia and anorexia will cause fatigue too. Social environment. A pupil may be tired because of the social environment they live in. This could be many factors such as noisy neighbours, perhaps being looked after by babysitters whilst parents are out at work. Have the children even got a bed to sleep in? A recent study found that more than 1 million children don't have their own bed. Is their specific social environment not conducive to rest and sleep? Sometimes we need to think outside the box. We see children as learners in school, and our role is to educate. But it's worth putting your social worker head on or counsellor head on to ask some questions. It's worth asking staff who have taught children previously, as they sometimes have more insight into social environments. There are numerous reasons, but please be aware. It's most often not the child's fault they're tired and sleepy. Personal issues can cause high levels of stress and anxiety and lead to more severe mental or physical conditions. Tiredness leading to sleepiness is the body's way of coping and sometimes escaping. It may be that the personal issues are causing sleep issues and then having the knock-on effect of the pupil being tired in the classroom. So far, we've tried to find a reason for the drowsiness, but perhaps we have to look at our own classroom environment and assess our own practice. Being bored with the pace of class activities can be tiring. Boredom can cause the mind to slow down, and I am 100% sure that we have all experienced that feeling when on a course or in training, haven't we? Assess the whole class situation. If one child is sleepy for no good reason, are the rest of the class sluggish and tired? Have they been indoors all day due to weather constraints? Sporting event late the previous night? If you can, perhaps take the class out for fresh air. Have the children got access to water? Keeping hydrated is essential for physical and mental health. Dehydration can make you feel sleepy, so it makes sense that hydration will make you more alert and ready to learn. Water bottles in school are very accepted, and teachers will have their routines and rules in class to manage this. Is it too warm? Get those windows open or get those blazers on the back of the chairs. A well-ventilated room will lower the temperature and provide the increase of oxygen in the room, lowering the CO2, which does cause drowsiness. There, science lesson over. What about our own teaching practice? Are we boring? Change it up and evaluate what you do and when. We may have to teach differently after lunch than before. So what can you do to keep motivation high and the engagement of the pupils? Self-assessment of our own practice is essential for growth, and sometimes really evaluating how your pupils respond to certain things will give you an idea of what they enjoy and what motivates them. Familiarity breeds contempt, and so doing the same thing over again, being predictable, can become boring. Have a few tricks in your bag to keep the motivation high. You're the expert in your subject, but you need to inspire and enthuse your students. Let us know how you keep motivation high in your classroom in the comments below. And whilst you're there, like, subscribe and click on the bell to keep hearing more from MyProgression. So what do you do if a child does actually fall asleep in class? Do you leave them or wake them? So you become aware of a dozy or even sleeping child in class, but what do? Shout, "Wake up, sleepyhead!" at the top of your voice while slamming a heavy book down on the table to make a loud bang? No. This might have been acceptable decades ago, but let's put the child at the heart of this issue. This is an issue which must be handled with care. Be compassionate. Don't draw attention to the child. Occupy the class with an independent task or even a video clip where you may have to dim the lighting in class. While everyone's distracted, get down to their level and gently tap on the desk. If this doesn't wake them, try speaking to them to see if they wake up. And if they don't, then as a last resort, tap the student's arm to wake them. Remember, you should only touch a child if it's absolutely necessary, and in this case it is. They could be unwell. Once awake, quietly suggest a break and a glass of water. Sleeping in class can cause unwanted attention, leading to embarrassment or stress, and let alone missing out on key learning. Check the child is feeling well. Observe the child and assess if you think they look unwell. Ask them, be kind, and seek additional medical advice if needed. Once you're sure the student is okay, you could engage the whole class in exercise or an energetic task. This is a benefit for everyone involved. I don't know how you find your day, but it's often the afternoons after lunch that the body can feel sluggish and less alert. So a bit of get up and move about can wake up the students as well as be some fun. Make a note. It may be a one-off, but it's worth logging in case it becomes a regular occurrence. Note the date and time, as there may be a pattern which could be key to why this is happening. For instance, it could be that the child is tired on a Thursday, having slept at Grand's house the night before. Check in with the child. Ask if they're okay, what time they go to bed, what time they go to sleep. It's worth noting and informing a line manager if any answers are concerning. It's also worth having a word with the parent to make them aware that it's happened, and there might be valid reasons for tiredness, but also maybe a parental concern too. From any discussions with the child, if you feel there may be a safeguarding issue because of what the child says, follow school protocol. Make sure you are up to date and fully aware of school procedures. See our safeguarding series for more on what to look out for and how to manage this. If drowsiness or sleeping become a persistent problem, seat the pupil in a seat where you can observe them, but also not to draw attention to them. You can manage the situation more easily then. This would be something you'll need to raise with your line manager and seek advice on how to move forward. Work with the children and families to promote good sleeping habits. Have concrete evidence to prove the importance of sleep. Why not get the children to do a project or open homework on the importance of sleep? Just initiating a project can educate you as a teacher to help you understand the children you teach and their routines, as well as help them take some ownership towards understanding the importance of sleep. Wanting the very best for each child you teach is essential, but we do know that each child and their situations are unique. Sleepy or sleeping children will miss out on learning, so this must be addressed. Teaching about sleep should perhaps be like teaching about sex education, so that we educate and raise awareness of this essential activity to keep us healthy, recharge our energy levels and concentration to function the next day. And don't forget that you need a good night's sleep too. I've been Natalie from MyProgression, and if you found this video useful, then check out the rest of our channel, and let's keep your career in motion.